Test, test, test. Hi, so this is a new series on this channel where I'm gonna share quick, absolutely 2 minute stuff where I talk about some pathology or physiology from a medical perspective, explaining it in layman term with absolutely horrendous video quality. But I hope my mic is loud and clear, and you won't just see my face. I've taken some effort to make some interesting slides. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So today the question we're going to answer is, why did I get diabetes? How does someone get type 2 diabetes? Yeah, not type 1. So I'm going to try to break it down very simply for you. So let's always keep this analogy in mind of a lock and a key. Okay, so you're going to consume something, and this apple is your source of glucose, and this glucose is sugar, carbs, that is going to enter your bloodstream. This is your bloodstream. Now it's going to flow, and we are going to connect to the next slide, and the sugar is going to get into this cell, whichever cells that require energy. All our cells require energy: our brain, our muscle, our eyes, everything, right? And on each of this cell on the wall there is a lock, right? So now we need to unopen. Oh my god, I think I'm just stressing out. I said we need to open this lock on the cell, right? And you need a key. So who's going to give you that key? Now, this cute thing here is the pancreas. Now, what is a pancreas? It sits in the center of your body, right at the back, just before your bone, and its job, it's the key maker, right? So it's going to be producing these keys to open the lock to enter the cell, so the sugars can enter the cell, and so they don't remain constantly high constantly high, because if it doesn't go in the cell to be used, it will remain high in the blood. Okay, so what happens in the early stages of type 2 diabetes, right? These cells, due to multiple factors, they don't respond or reduce their response towards this key or the insulin, right? And this is the first stage, right? Insulin resistance. So if someone is has a obesity, a strong genetic factor, or on prolonged use of steroids and stuff like that, and multiple other factors, they will start to be developing this initial stage called the insulin resistance, where, as you can see, this door here tends to become sticky, and definitely it's going to be difficult to open with the existing key. Now, this means that, hey, why is my blood having excessive sugar? Why is it not entering the cells, right? So this is going to signal the pancreas, I don't think we have enough keys. Can you keep making more keys? Hey, we need to try opening all the locks. I don't want the sugar to remain in my blood levels. And this is the first stage, right? So a temporary fix that is slowly growing to become a strain on the pancreas. Okay, so the high levels of glucose and fats in the blood can also be toxic to the pancreas. It slowly becomes a vicious cycle. So as you can see, the pancreas is really straining. Next, the key maker, which is the pancreas, they become exhausted, just like any other person or any other tool that you overuse and overwork it. So these overworked insulin producing cells, or the beta cells that produce the insulin, are damaged, and they begin to fail, and the pancreas can no longer produce enough insulin, right? And now we have overcome the phase of resistance, and we now have a totally diminished production of insulin, and that's basically what's type 2. So with too few keys and locks that won't open, glucose is quite literally trapped in the blood. And this state of chronically elevated blood sugars is what you call type 2 diabetes. I hope you're computing everything and you can still imagine the lock and key. If you can't, just replay it a little bit and you should get the hang of it, right? Okay, so let's recap. Insulin resistance, overworked pancreas that eventually leads to beta cell failure, and we end up with a chronically high blood sugar. So healthy, the keys, which is the insulin, will open the doors to the cells well and push the glucose in. Resistant, this sticky looking lock, and a damaged key. And diabetes, where it just cannot produce and sugar remains elevated. And that, my friend, is how someone in absolute simple terms, can or has developed type 2 diabetes. And if you enjoyed this sort of quick, simple to understand breakdowns of medical related stuff, just let me know, because I do plan to share more of this for my own learning purposes. I am in the phase of learning, and to enhance my understanding is why I am doing this. So till the next video then.